All right, I'm back again, Dark Side with Vital MX. Today, I have the owner of the Collective Experience. If you guys don't know what the Collective Experience is, you're going to dig this program. But I've got Dave Drakes on the phone. What's up, Dave?
What's up, Dark Side? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Collective Experience, the CollectiveXP.com. Give me the details, man. What is the Collective Experience?
Yeah, so basically we're a unparalleled access VIP program for motocross fans of varying levels. So what we do is we try to take your traditional meet and greet and we just jack it up to times 10, put it on steroids, and get people behind the velvet rope for a day that they've never imagined possible. We've got a fan experience side that really caters to the fans, make them feel like they are just made out of gold the whole day. They're helping out the crew. They're watching video with the riders. They're learning the ins and outs of the sport. They're touching the bike. They're really part of the team. And we also have an internship program that allows people to really get their hands dirty and learn hands-on from people in the industry like mechanics or team managers or content creators so that they can start their own career in the sport. Which, it's tough to get started in this industry, especially to get to the top level. So what we do is we pretty much help you cut the line. We get you in front of people you need to be in front of. We help you make those connections that lead directly into a job. And it's been great, man. And a big part of what the program is that we help support privateers and satellite teams. So the funds that we raise, they get funneled to the riders, to these teams to kind of help them keep going each week. And it's been a phenomenal ride so far.
Where did this idea come from?
Oh man, honestly, so I grew up in the sport, just like most people in the industry. Grew up racing, doing the whole travel deal, and I grew up in New England, racing with like AJ Cat and Jimmy D, a bunch of guys like that. So become friends over the years and stuff like that. So I think we were at I think it was MetLife Supercross. I was hanging out with AJ just in the pits and stuff, and I decided to go to college route after after high school, and that's kind of the time when you really know if you're going to be pro or not. And trust me, I knew I wasn't going to be pro. I'm like, you know what? I'm not nearly as fast as my friends. I should probably get my ass behind a desk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was talking to him, and I really didn't realize how much privateers struggle. Just like kind of like most fans out there. I'm thinking every rider's making millions of dollars, right?
Right.
So,
Sure.
AJ was talking to me. He's like, man, I honestly don't know how I'm going to eat tonight just to get to this race. And I was like, holy crap. Like, that's crazy. As talented as all these guys are. And AJ's not the only one. There's, thousands of privateers out there that are kind of in the same boat as he was. So we were talking. I was like, man, honestly, I'm having such a good time just hanging out in the pits with you guys every race and just being a fan. Like, I'll pay you guys every week to do something like this, And that kind of sparked him like, well, hell, if I want to do it and I know the guy, imagine people who, look up to these guys as like, legends, right? Not saying that I don't do that with other riders, but definitely not AJ, because I know all the scary stories about AJ. So, I was, all the dirt about AJ, right? I'm like, he's a normal guy. But no, I was just after the race, I was thinking, I'm like, man, it'd be super cool to be able to help AJ out, help out all the privateers, and be able to give something back to the sport. Because at the end of the day, I'm a super fan of the sport. I want to see it grow. I want to tell the world about how awesome motocross is, and what a just great offering this entire sport is. So I talked to AJ. I was like, man, we could probably put together like packages where fans can like come behind the scenes, but like do it the right way, do it so that they feel like they are the centerfold of the day, help you out financially, but also give you a platform to showcase yourself through like social and give these guys content and help them out throughout the day. And it just kind of snowballed from one thing to another. Talked to Feld about it. We kind of made some refinements, and we were able to roll it out a couple years ago, and it's been great. It's kind of transformed into really what I didn't really picture possible. You know what I mean? And I can only imagine where it's going to go from here. So the whole mission was just to help out riders, help the sport, and have a good time doing it.
So you mentioned getting involved with Feld and talking to them, but like, how do you get the ball rolling? How do you get in front of Feld?
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, there's a lot of, like making PowerPoints and really making sure you're talking to the right people. So it's sending emails out, using people that know people to get the email contacts of people. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I want to do this. Do you have this guy's contact? No, but I have his contact. Okay, hey, do you have this contact? No, but I've had his contact. You know what I mean? It's kind of like leaving breadcrumbs for you to talk to people. And you got to be persistent. You're going to hear no a lot when you do stuff like this. It was really cool working with Mike Mewey, and those guys were super receptive, and they kind of gave me some notes like, hey, it's probably not going to work in this way. Why don't you try this and going directly for this? And they've been super good, super cool to work with over the years, and I think we've made something really, really cool. But yeah, it wasn't easy, man. It's a lot of nose and refinement, and just really making sure that you know what you're executing. You've got all the ends tied up. All the what ifs are identified and really like risk mitigated. So it takes a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. I can only imagine what it takes, week in, week out to get everything together and get credentials. Yeah. It's not as easy as just saying, "Help, here's Joe and Jane, and they're going to be hanging out this weekend." It takes a lot of steps to get them.
Oh man,
everything they need.
For sure. That's just the easy part. Getting the fans there and having fun for the day. That's the easy part. Like everyone thinks like, oh man, it must be so tough juggling all those fans. Like, no, dude, because at the end of the day, you're hanging out with people who love the sport. They're your buddies. They're your moto family. And we do that every weekend, right? So it's literally just talking about races with people who love racing. That's easy. The scheduling, the forms, the this and that, all the planning, that's like oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What was the early reception from the riders and from the first few participants?
At first, I think people weren't really sure if it was like a scam or not. So I had a lot of people like, wait, they're like, wait, I can do what? And I was like, yeah, you come behind the scenes, you help the riders out, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, what's the catch? I'm like, there's no catch. We want to help grow the sport. We want to get fans behind the scenes. We want to do all this cool stuff. And so many people were like, yeah, right, dude. Nice try. And I'm like, it's real. You know what I mean? Like, we're really here to help people out. The riders, like, I think the first rider I worked with was AJ and Adam Insignap. And Adam, Adam, dude, he was, I'm all for it, bro. Let's do it. I'm down for the fans. And like, he was so, bro, he's like, that would be sick. He loved it. Like the riders loved it. They were like, honestly, man, like, do you need to do anything extra? I'm like, you guys just be yourselves, have fun, make the fans feel like you normally make them feel. Because honestly, most of the privateers, they are great with people. They love fans. They don't really get the interaction that I think they deserve sometimes. So they really appreciate people being around them. But yeah, they immediately took to it. The riders, they loved it. They were grateful for the monetary support that we were able to provide them. They liked how easy it kind of was for them once they kind of like understood the ins and outs of the program. But yeah, once we started getting more fans in and word spread, dude, they loved it. I had so many people that were like, Dave, this I will never forget this day. Me and my kid were just like, behind the scenes, behind the line, just like talking to like, I got to talk to Chad Reed, or I met Mathis, or blah, blah, blah. And they're so stoked. And for me, that's the cool part, is like hearing that you made memories or some connections for people. That was really cool.
I mean, obviously you want to make some money doing this, but like, you're not doing this solely to make money. You were doing this to give the fans the experience that you get to have knowing these guys, because you love it so much. Like, I want to share this with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and it's very difficult. Like, none of us are going to be rich in the sport. Just, you know what I mean? I think we do it for the love of it, unless we're Roxon, of course, then you're making tons of money.
Dude, but, be rich, bro.
That's the goal, right? Like, we want to, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? If we don't, it's still cool, because we're doing what we love to do. We're with people that are like-minded, that care about the sport as much as we do. Like, if I can get rich in the sport, I am not going to complain, Darkside. Trust me, you will see me roll up in like the nicest cars with a bigger smile on my face than normal. I will live it up. Yeah, exactly. I got you. Don't worry. But no, it's no, you're right, man. Like, I didn't do this to try to get rich. I'm doing this to, like, I want the sport to be rich, right? I want to be rich in fans. I want to be rich in media attention. I want to be rich in and accolades for the guys that really deserve it, right? Like, dude, for people like Chiz and Morans and like the Enticknaps, dude, those guys should be celebrated so much more. You know what I mean? Because they're just such rad dudes. They're talented beyond measure. They're just super nice and giving to the fans. They've got really good stories, and I'd love to be able to see them get as much attention as some of the other factory guys that we see a lot. But that's what I want to happen. You know what I mean?
Right now, who are the riders involved, and if fans sign up, who can they go help and get involved with?
Yeah, so for outdoors, we like to keep it a little bit more concentrated.
Okay.
So we've got Henry Miller, Kevin Morans, we've got Jordan Jarvis out there. We're going to be going with Tyler Steppick in a little bit too. Once he gets his footing underneath him for outdoors, he's been having a killer season. And we can always do one-offs also. So I have people that are like, hey, I know, Ari might not really be on the roster yet, but like, is he going to be at a race? Can I hang out with him? So like we make stuff like that happen also. So we're always open to doing like kind of one-off deals. And of course, we got AJ in the program also. He's making his segue, to races here and there. So we're definitely gonna be helping him out. But I love the outdoor because we really can really hone in on like why the sport is so great. And it brings back like all those like super cool memories of going to the races when I was younger and like the true grit of the sport. It's phenomenal, man.
Do you have any really good participant stories? Anything that stands out about, fans that have come out, gotten involved, and had some really cool experiences?
Oh, too many. Honestly,
Okay.
too many. Like I think the first year we came out with the internship program it was awesome because like a lot of people were able to get hired into the sport, and like we really kickstarted some careers in a really great way. And it was super great to see that. But at the same time, a lot of these people, they weren't, and truthfully, like you never get used to it, but they weren't used to, I guess, being around that level of competition. And we had one fan that was like helping out AJ. So he had his bike down in staging. And I think it was like Roxon rolled up and, all the riders talked to each other. And like AJ said something to him, and he was talking to AJ. And then the intern mechanic got like, was in the conversation. And then, they wrapped it up, walked away. And literally the intern, his eyes were so wide and he's like hyperventilating. He's like, oh my God, that was Ken Roxon. Oh my God, hold on. I gotta sit down for a second. And like, dude, I was like, do we have to call EMS for this guy? Like, dude, he was so blown away that like he was on the gate with all the guys that he saw on TV. And that same thing happened to like 5 others that year.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane. Dude, he was so grateful at the end of the day. And it was great. I think he had a role in the team for a while, and then I think he had a kid now, and he's doing something a little bit different. But no, he crushed it that day. I'm very lucky and very thankful that all of our interns are absolute rock stars, man. They really go the extra mile. We had another one in Minneapolis. We had a female racer who wanted to try it out. She wasn't sure what she wanted to do in the sport. And, we're like, hey, try it out. Like, we want to get as much diversity in the sport, as many different, faces in there as possible. We'd love to have you on. Like, let's come help out AJ and see what we can do. Man, she whipped us into shape. This little 19-year-old chick, dude. Like, she's like, Dave, you're doing this. AJ, you're doing this. I need you over here at this time to do this. Don't forget to do this. I need 4 tires for him for this. And like, dude, she organized us so well. We had like 2 hours to spare, which never happens when we're getting ready and packing up and stuff. We were like, dude, what do we do with all this time?
Get hire full time.
We begged her. We were like, please, like I will pay for the flights. Please come back. Like this was so awesome. She ended up getting snatched up like literally the second she graduated from college to this my power sports marketing firm. And I think she's like in a leadership position. She's only like 23, 24. And man, she is like crushing it right now. But dude, like that was such an eye opener of how like janky our like privateer programs are, like just watching her, like, you really need to get this cleaned up. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And man, like that's been a standard. Like Zoe was the standard for how we do things.
That's awesome. The Ken Roxon story makes me laugh because I was definitely that way for the first
for sure.
few rounds.
All of us were.
If you have a guy come in your program, Collective Experience, and they're going to wrench for, let's just say AJ. Let's just take a guy like AJ. It's not that easy, dude. It's pretty cool that somebody can come in and learn that. Like, I never thought about all those little things. Like, man, you really got to be on. Yeah. And I think that's pretty cool that people get a chance to see that for a day or more if they want to do it multiple times.
Oh, for sure. And you nailed it on the head. Like, that's things that like you don't really think of. And it's not only that, it's like, oh man, don't forget, got to carry an extra 10 mil in the backpack or a few screwdrivers, and don't forget the rider's water and stuff like that. Like you overthink it because we're just so stoked to be at a supercross event, right? So, and it's what's really cool about the program is that like we practice all that stuff so that like you don't have to feel embarrassed. Like literally we'll be in the pit and we're like, hey, this morning we're gonna do this, and this. And half the time we're like, hey, if you don't know how to do something, this is the perfect time to say, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. And we get there, we practice, there's no judgment, so that by the time you're ready to go for the night show, man, you're pro at it, right? So, that's one of the cool things about what we do is like we take all of the guesswork out. We make you feel like you can learn with us, you can make some early mistakes with us, and we really get you set up on the right foot so that you can really kick ass at this. And I think it was last year, 21, when we were at Atlanta, and I was walking down the pits early in the morning, dude. I was like super groggy. My flight was super late. And I'm like, I looked around and like, I see like at least 2 people from every team like waving at me like, hey, Dave, good morning. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's an intern from so-and-so. Oh, yeah, that's an intern from that year, whatever. And I'm like,
Wow.
holy crap, dude. I think we've like kind of partially staffed like half the freaking like moto industry. I was like, this is incredible, man. That perked me up, man. It was super cool. And like, a couple of teams reach out all the time, like, hey man, do you have any good guys for the the next couple of weeks? Like, we're really looking to get some guys that know what they're doing. And like, I go into the Rolodex, I'm like, heck yeah, dude, I got 3 great guys for you that went through the program. And I think teams are starting to really trust the fact that we really get them off in the right direction. And we set them up for success. And man, these guys and girls, they're kicking ass.
So cool. All right, last question. What's the plans for 2023? Anything new, anything big, just continuing on? What do you have, or what are you working towards for 23?
So we're definitely looking to expand. So, I absolutely love moto, but we're going to be going big into the arena cross side. We kind of had like a light launch last arena cross season, and it went very well. We're going to be back for arena cross. We're going to be back for supercross. We're going to have a few more riders than I think we normally do. Normally we try to round out to about 10. We're going to push for about 15 guys now that the program's growing. We've got a really cool partnership with the Moto Academy and AJ Cat within the app. So we've got a master class on how to present your best self in the industry, how to get your career kickstarted, the right ways to think about approaching presenting yourself to these teams. It's a full master class. I'm also offering mentorship help and resume building on a one-on-one basis. And we're also going to be doing some cool stuff with World Supercross also. Finalizing some plans there. So a lot of cool things just to help out people in a more detailed way, kind of spread the opportunity pool to a bunch of different racing organizations, and really try to be as most effective as we can. Just the end result should be everybody is having the door wide open for them for whatever they want to get into within the sport, and I just want to continue that on.
So rad. Dave Drakes, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I love your program, the Collective Experience, thecollectivexp.com, or check them out on Instagram, the Collective EX, at the Collective EX on Instagram. Give them a follow, get involved. Really cool opportunity. But Dave, again, appreciate you coming on here and talking to us. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. I will make time for you no matter what, dog. So you know that.